everyone, welcome back. Chris McCormick, joined by Blake Smith, and we are here with Tomo from TaylorMade. And today we are at the Kingdom facility at TaylorMade's headquarters in Carlsbad, California. And we've got a special opportunity to get a first look at the new TaylorMade Qi10 line. So Tomo, first of all, thanks for having us.
Of course.
And let's see what we've got here in the bag.
Yeah, so we've got all new drivers, all new fairwoods. We also have a whole new line of rescues as well. But really the story here is the new Qi10 line, starting with the Max model. Typically we start with the Plus or the better player model, but our story this year is around the Qi10 Max. It is a 10,000 inertia driver.
Love that.
Super excited about that. So I think that's something that we're gonna want Blake to hit for sure later on. We do also have the one that a lot of our tour guys are gonna play, the Qi10 LS. That product is obviously designed for low spin, like the name indicates, built for a lot of ball speed, great launch conditions, a little bit more workability. It does also have a brand new sliding weight in there as well. Track, and then we also have the Qi10, and this is going to be a little bit of the best of both worlds. This is going to have more forgiveness in the Qi10 LS, a little bit lower spin than the Max. So again, depending on the fitting and how players hit the ball, this could be a good option for a lot of people as well. So again, three very different clubs, three excellent new technologies that we're bringing to the market.
Very nice, very nice. And I mean, looks like you've got a couple of swings to take here, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that going, okay, there's a lot of technology in there and I'm gonna need a little bit of help, so it looks like I'm gonna get help.
Yeah, you are gonna get help, and we do have the carbon face in here still. Obviously they all have the 60-layer carbon face, and that's gonna deliver that speed that you come to expect from TaylorMade, but again, with some new performance elements built in.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, before we start hitting these guys, make sure, give us a like, subscribe, and with that, let's get some balls in the air.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So Tomo, first head that we're gonna have Blake test here, Qi10 LS.
Yep. Yeah, I think the first thing you're gonna notice is that new infinity crown. So a very different look at a dress, looks super clean, easy to align. You're gonna have that top line alignment system as well. So that's just the visual stuff. Once you get into the numbers, I think the feel's really good. We've just improved the feel a little bit from Stealth 2 Plus.
Sure.
And also, because of that crown, we're able to move the CG a little lower. So a little bit more forgiving, a little lower CG, a little bit hotter ball flight than Stealth 2 Plus.
Nice. And heard some rumblings on tour that we've got redesigned face.
Yeah, so we've redesigned basically the perimeter around the carbon face to be a little more flexible. So on miss hits, it's going to be a little bit more forgiving and more consistent relative to center face hit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody likes faster and more forgiving.
Absolutely.
So Blake, I'm curious, what's first impressions on visuals?
Well, first off, I can tell you that the red face, so I'm a real visual person, so if I see too much face, I adjust to it. And the blue face is improved in my opinion.
Right.
So I can't really, and then that sight line up there on top, gonna make it really square. Like I can see everything about that. This is it's a really clean looking driver. There's not as much going on top as previous generations, but then you can see some of that carbon. It's pretty good. It's eye catching for sure. It's a little bit more subdued, but it's still eye catching. From what I remember about the Plus, tough to hook. LS, probably tough to hook, so just hit some flat fades. That one I might have caught a little bit on the toe.
Yeah, that was almost dead straight there.
Felt good.
Really nice ball flight.
Yeah, a little on the toe, twist face.
Yep.
Made it not go left.
168 ball speed, 11, 2600.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Definitely hit that one on the toe. I kind of live a little bit on the toe too, so.
Those were really similar shots. Pretty straight. That one was a little spinnier. Maybe a little higher in the face as well, maybe.
Okay.
Twist face working for him.
Twist face working for you, yeah, exactly, taking out that hook.
See if I can hit one in the center. That was closer.
Yeah. That was kind of like that flat fade that you were talking about there.
Yeah.
Really clean.
That's what I look to play. Look to play a nice flat fade.
So that's almost 170 ball speed, 9-degree launch. Maybe a little on the face there, just a shade lower than normal.
Okay. I'm gonna send one.
Yeah. That was definitely a little higher launch right there. That was nice.
A little high on the face. Felt good though.
Yeah, that same fade as that last shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ball speed over 170, 11, 2700.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
They're all in the fairway.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that he didn't hit all of those solid, but
Right.
every one of them, even for the player-oriented driver, stayed in play.
Yeah, they were all pretty tight grouping, and those were all been in the fairway on a golf course, so that's nice to see.
So we want to give him a little more help here with the next one?
Should we go, maybe I'll go all the way to the max. We go to the extremes. We only have the 10.5. We're going to put it all the way in lower for you. So I'm expecting this obviously to go a little higher than your last one. Probably not the right loft for you, but again, we want to make sure that we get, especially some perception differences, like especially as you maybe try to hit a couple of little off center and just see what we get.
It shouldn't be a problem today.
If we don't get it naturally, I'm saying.
So this would be a new offering.
That's right.
Achieving that 10K MOI like we were talking
10,000
about.
MOI. You know, and the beauty of this product is that it's going to work for a lot of different types of golfers. I mean, typically in the past, we've maybe pigeonholed our, our like HD models in the past, really just for the higher handicap player or the player needing a draw. This is going to fit a lot of good players as well, up and down the handicap spectrum. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, first impressions, it's definitely front to back, way bigger, but I expect that. I mean, obviously you take that weight back and you push it all the way back, you're gonna make it really easy to hit. Launch is gonna go up, and everything else looks pretty much the same. So it's pretty much the same. I mean, it's obviously the same kind of aesthetics. Top really looks clean, same kind of alignment line, same face. It's just the shape. That's my fade.
Yeah, just sliding over a little bit. That's nice.
Felt good.
Very playable.
Yeah, very playable there.
So a little bit of difference in the acoustics as well.
Yes. Yeah, so definitely, what we try to do with the Max is make it a little bit brighter sounding. The Carbon inherently wants to mute the sound a little bit. I think we've had a really nice sort of crunch to our Stealth 2 models. This one, I think you're going to see a similar sound in the LS model, but with the Max and the Qi10, a little bit brighter sounding, a little bit more volume for again, players just feeling like it's coming off a little hotter off the face.
Sure, I mean, it's noticeable through impact, difference between
the two that
LS and Max for sure.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to look at demographics for the three different heads, as far as separations for players go, what are you expecting as far as performance in Max and overall market share with that particular model?
I do think Max is going to get close to 50% of the market. It's going to be a pretty big segment of the market for us. I think obviously anyone who struggles to hit the center of the face, it's going to be a great club for that player. But as you get to the better players too, just getting that consistency of launch and spin when you miss it a little bit, that's going to be a benefit even if you don't miss it, in a big way.
Sure.
And also, I think that shape, I mean, the feedback we've had so far is some people really feel like that inspires a little bit more confidence to swing it a bit harder, as opposed to that smaller, more compact shape. So I do think we're going to see golfers down in the single digits playing the Max as well. And we're going to have some tour players like Nelly Corda is going to play the Max. She loves that product.
There you go.
Very nice.
And so it's going to be interesting to see for you guys, especially because you obviously fit on performance. And again, I wouldn't, as a fitter, necessarily preclude that Max from even if you have a better player in there. The only situation where you probably don't want to pick Max is if the player is already spinning it too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That would be the difference mainly is going to be spin rate wise, where it's going to exclude one driver or the other. If you don't spin it enough, LS would be out of the picture. If you spin it too much, probably the Max. Although you could go down in loft as well to compensate for that.
Sure.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, even if they're a really good player and they're like, I only want to play a certain shape or a certain company. I'm like, hey, if there's some forgiveness out there and you're not taking advantage of it, and somebody else does, and they win, now you're going to start questioning.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see two more for the sample here.
That's heeled. I'm kind of ringing the heel on this one. Still geared right back to the
Still
center.
right at the pin.
Once again, technology is working.
Technology is working, yeah. Again, trying to get that face angle right with the twist face when you miss the heel to not over slice it.
Exactly.
That was more in the center.
Yeah, crushed out. I mean, I think that would have been a great shot, obviously with a bit less loft for you.
Yeah.
But in terms of the flight and the shape of that shot was really nice.
And that's the fitting component, right? So you go through it, you start with the 10.5, it's like, okay, let's lower it. And then you can even lower it a little bit more because the technology and the driver is starting to get the ball flight up.
Exactly.
So then you can find out the right combination. And if it's really, really forgiving, you can swing for the fences, why not?
Right, exactly, yeah. So let's try the Qi10. Again, this should be that midpoint between so you were in the mid 2s on spin on the LS, you were in the 3000s with Max, And then you might be in the high 2s with this model.
Okay.
Which again, with your club head speed, your ball speed, that's a pretty playable ball flight. You know, you don't want to get too low. I mean, finding fairways is definitely a premium for anybody who doesn't play on tour. So
Sure.
and even for the guys.
Even
playing
for
on
the
tour.
guys out there. Turns out it's an easier game from
the
short
fairway.
grass.
Yeah.
This looks a lot like the LS, like a little bit bigger maybe,
yeah.
but you know, you can't really tell.
Mm-hmm.
So like if a lot of people, you put this in their hands and you look down and it's like, okay, this looks like the LS. A good golfer can play this for sure.
Yep.
Oh, that's way, that was bombed.
That's
It's a good ball there.
long.
I think it hit the fence out there.
It actually,
I heard it.
I heard the hit in the fall. Yeah, 170 ball speed. I mean, that's nice.
Good. That was
Almost
my
10
goal.
degree launch, 24.68 on spin. So real nice. 311 total.
And it looks, I mean, without diving into the data too much, the separation between the three models seems to be a little bit greater than what we've seen in
Absolutely, yeah.
Stealth family in the past.
Yeah, a little bit greater. Yeah, for most golfers, you're going to see in that 200 to 300 RPM range difference between each of the models spin-wise, and then the max is going to be a little easier to turn over and hit straight for the guy maybe struggles with the right side of the golf course.
That's 172 ball speed there.
Yeah.
This one's way easier for me to draw,
Okay.
to turn over.
Yeah, certainly than the LS, right? Big
Yep.
difference. Yeah.
So let's get one more to round out the sample,
Yeah.
but
172 ball speed on that.
yeah.
Crushed it.
So from what we've seen, max might be a little too much for
Yeah.
this particular player at
Yep.
that speed at the loft we tested.
Yep.
LS, little unstable. And we're really seeing some good things
Yeah.
out of this core
Yeah.
head, that's the Qi10.
Absolutely. The Qi10 is looking good for you. That was a beautiful one to finish on.
Fence again.
Caught the fence, 170 ball speed, 10, 2300. I mean, that was nice.
Yeah,
Really
313 total there.
good.
This
313
driver,
total.
this is the one that could go in the bag,
Yeah.
right here.
So Tomo, that was a great representation of what players can expect out of new Qi10 product. And Blake, as usual, made it look pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, thanks. I mean, I did hit it all over the face, but technology saved me a good amount of time there. I felt like low heel and high toe was my miss today, and twist face really helped out, so.
Nice.
That's it. Like we said,
Yeah.
as advertised, technology's working.
That's right.
So make sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and when you're ready to test TaylorMade's new Qi10 product, make sure and book your next fitting at your local True Spec. We'll see you next time.